Welcome to the show. We're at IoT Tech Expo in London today at Olympia, and it's, as you can probably hear in the background, quite crowded here. I'm being joined by John Schaefer. He's the VP of Development at the ThingWorx, or PTC ThingWorx IoT platform. And actually, John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
John, I mean, PTC has been enabling hundreds of IoT use cases, and you are sort of seen as one of the leading application enablement platforms in this field. What are the strategic choices for someone implementing IoT when they think about, where do they start? What are the strategic things they should think about?
Actually, so that's a good question because, you have to think about first just what am I doing? What am I doing from a business perspective? One of the things we've seen is everybody wants to have an IoT strategy today, but they don't necessarily know how they're going to monetize or get value out of it, right? And so what am I doing? Am I creating a hardware product or a software product? How do I make software more part of my product engineering process? How am I going to organize my company? Really, you got to think about, it's not just when you design a product and take it to market now with software in it, you're going to put software in a device, you're going to update that software, you're going to enable features with that software, you're going to have communication pipes to talk about this, to talk to this instrument remotely. You're going to have aftermarket service around it, and you're going to feed back data into product engineering. I mean, you're talking, a whole life cycle of a product. So how am I going to organize my team? How am I going to get IT involved? How do I leverage my ecosystem? It's an enormous amount of choices to make. But the first thing is how am I going to make money, right? How am I going to monitor my piece of equipment? And then am I going to control and interact with it? How am I going to optimize that and potentially automate that whole process?
These are a lot of questions to be answered on a strategic level.
Very, very high level stuff. You have to really take an organization and design your organization because your interaction models may be different. Your remote service technician might not have been interacting with IT as much. Now IT infrastructure is critical to that business process. So you have to have a CIO who's going to organize around the business processes, not just infrastructure.
And that's just the strategic part. I mean, then there's technical challenges.
Absolutely.
So what are the different technical challenges that have to be overcome from a software and hardware perspective?
I mean, the two things really, the big ones are security and scale. So security, obviously, there's, in a lot of consumer markets there have been issues. You have to design in security from day one. It's got to be part of your design process, your thought process. You have to kind of live with security, right? And then if you have a cloud platform, public or private cloud, you also have to assume that actually bad things are going to happen. So how do I mitigate that? If somebody's going to get in the front door, that happens. So then how am I going to make sure that I can mitigate that, control that, and minimize the impact? How am I going to protect data? So, and then take that to data privacy. If you're collecting data from different customers' equipment that you've sold equipment to, you have a data privacy and you have a data sharing issue, right? And that's all related to security. It's challenging, there's a lot to be done there. And what I would recommend is any customer not try to do all that themselves and leverage your ecosystem. It's a hard problem. And then the second thing is scale. You talk about potentially hundreds of billions of devices being connected over the next 5 years. So you're talking about an infrastructure problem, you're talking about a wireless telco, challenge just from how much can I fit through the pipes, and you're also challenging yourself as a company. If I have 200,000 assets out there that are talking at a high frequency, it's a lot of data, it's a lot of pipe. So how am I going to deal with that scale? How am I going to put a system in that can scale up, scale down, and manage those costs? Big DevOps issue also.
I mean, so obviously you are helping companies go to market and achieve this, and so from your point of view, what are the next big opportunities, the next sort of things that people should focus on, maybe the low-hanging fruits? What's happening in the market? Where should people look? What areas should people look at?
Well, I think the easiest opportunity to go get is just once I'm interacting with my device that I've sold from an OEM market perspective, is remote service or aftermarket service. Being able to monitor the software update, control, diagnose problems, predict the problem ahead of time for a product that's in the field. So I mean, that's the most immediate thing to do, connect up that product and then keep that product healthy. But I think if you look at really where the next high-level value is going to come from, one is analytics. So now that I'm collecting data, I'm interacting with that machine or that device or that sensor, how am I applying machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning to that data and getting really new insights in my business I did not have before. So that's one. And then the second thing is kind of underutilized today is how do I inform product engineering of how this product is behaving in the field? How are the customers using it? You know, are they using every feature I put in or not? Which features do they use a lot? Which parts break down that I need to think about redesigning? What part never breaks down that I am actually over-designed? Right? There's a huge amount of product engineering and customer insight that can come out of it.
So, I mean, for those people who are not too familiar with PTC and ThingWorx and what you guys do, how would you summarize, how do you successfully help those people?
So ThingWorx is a full technology stack. So we have software that can run on the device, we can run an on-prem server, and we could also have a cloud server. And really in IoT, it's really a distributed compute problem, so that you have all of those in many cases. But we provide a platform, it's an open platform, with a good set of open APIs that you can use our whole stack, which means user experience down to device connectivity and business logic that runs on the server. But you can also bring parts of your own IP to the table, right? So it's an open platform. You use the pieces that you need. And we have analytics, we have augmented reality, we have UI builders, we have business logic editors, and we have all that, and yet you can bring your own IP to the table as a customer and add value to it, right? So it's a horizontal platform. We always talk about getting the value quicker. We have all these tools in place so you don't have to do the raw plumbing and all that type of work if you don't have it in place. So we're going to accelerate your time to value. And then really the big thing is democratizing things like analytics. How do I not have to have a team of data scientists so I can run analytics? So we call it democratizing analytics, democratizing being able to build things like augmented reality on top of a physical device. These are the kind of tools we bring to the table.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, John. Thanks for the insights that you shared with us, and enjoy the show.
Thank you. It's good being here.